You will in EVR look at intimacy the same way after watching this. Have you ever wondered why she raises her legs in bed? It's not random. It's her body sending a message you must understand. Most men completely miss these signals, leaving women frustrated, unsatisfied, and emotionally disconnected. But today, I'm going to reveal the hidden psychology behind her every move so you can truly connect, ignite passion, and make her feel desired like never before. Watch closely because every second of this speech holds secrets most men will never know. Comment your location where you're watching from, hit subscribe to the channel, and let's unlock the mind of a woman together. The truth is deeper, hotter, and more powerful than you've ever imagined. Don't blink, or you'll miss it. Have you ever noticed the subtle ways a woman communicates without saying a word? The way she moves, the gestures she makes in intimate moments. These are far more than just physical actions. Take, for instance, raising her legs in bed. On the surface, it might seem purely physical, something done instinctively or without much thought. But when we dig a little deeper, we realize that every movement carries a psychological story, a window into her comfort, confidence, and emotional state. The moment she feels safe enough to lift her legs, she's revealing a profound sense of trust. It's a vulnerable position, one that exposes her completely, and that vulnerability isn't given lightly. It's granted only to those she feels genuinely secure with. This is why understanding this gesture goes beyond mere curiosity. It's a mirror reflecting her inner world. In psychology, vulnerability and comfort are intertwined. The more secure she feels in the presence of her partner, the freer her body becomes to express itself naturally. By raising her legs, she is unconsciously saying, "I trust you. I feel safe here." And trust, my friends, is the foundation of every meaningful connection, whether emotional or physical. Recognizing this is crucial because most men overlook it entirely. They see the action, but they miss the emotional intelligence embedded within it. Let's pause and consider what comfort truly means in an intimate setting. Comfort isn't just the absence of fear. It's an active state of emotional and psychological relaxation. It's the ability to let go of self-consciousness, to release the mental barriers that society or past experiences have built over time. When a woman raises her legs, her body is signaling that she has reached this state, that she trusts you enough to let go of control, even if only for a moment. This is not something that can be forced or faked. It is earned through consistent respect, attentiveness, and genuine understanding. Think about it philosophically. Every intimate action is a dialogue, even without words. The body speaks in a language older than speech itself. Raising her legs is a gesture of openness, a silent invitation to connect on a deeper level. It shows that she is present in the moment, that she is attuned to her own pleasure, and that she feels secure allowing someone else into that sacred space. It's a manifestation of confidence and surrender at the same time, a paradox that many men fail to grasp. Understanding this duality is what separates a man who merely engages physically from one who truly connects psychologically and emotionally. Furthermore, this act of comfort is also a reflection of self-acceptance. A woman who is at ease raising her legs is, in a way, embracing her own body and desires. She is acknowledging her own pleasure and giving herself permission to experience it fully. In a world where many women are conditioned to feel shame or hesitation about expressing their sexuality, this gesture is revolutionary. It speaks volumes about her confidence and self-awareness. Recognizing it isn't about reading her like a book. It's about honoring her ability to be present, to express herself freely, and to trust the person she has chosen to share that moment with. And here's the deeper layer: by noticing and appreciating this subtle expression, you are actively participating in a cycle of mutual respect and emotional attunement. When a man understands that this action stems from comfort, trust, and confidence, he responds with care and attentiveness. This reciprocal awareness elevates intimacy beyond the physical into something profoundly psychological. It becomes a shared experience, a silent conversation where both partners are fully engaged and respected. The beauty of this insight is that it transforms the way men perceive women's bodies, not as objects of desire alone, but as intricate, expressive vessels of emotional truth. So the next time you notice her raising her legs, do not reduce it to a mere physical cue. See it for what it truly is, a gesture of trust, a declaration of comfort, and a reflection of inner confidence. This understanding will not only deepen your connection, but will also help you cultivate a more emotionally intelligent approach to intimacy. It's about paying attention, recognizing subtlety, and acting with mindfulness. Every intimate moment holds layers of meaning. It's up to you to see beyond the surface. In the end, the lesson is simple, but profound intimacy is never just physical. Every gesture, every movement carries psychological weight and emotional significance. When a woman raises her legs, she is giving you a gift, the gift of vulnerability, trust, and confidence. Honor it, understand it, and respond to it with the same depth she has offered. Comfort is not granted, it is earned. Trust is not demanded, it is built. And the subtle gestures of intimacy are not random. They are the language of connection, waiting for you to listen. When you do, the depth of your relationships, the intensity of your connection, and the richness of your intimacy will transform entirely. Intimacy is never just a series of random movements. It's a dialogue between mind, body, and emotion. When a woman raises her legs in bed, it's not merely a physical position. It's her body's natural way of enhancing pleasure and amplifying sensitivity. The human body, particularly in moments of intimacy, operates with a logic that is often subconscious but deeply intentional. By positioning herself in a way that exposes sensitive areas, she is unconsciously allowing her body to experience more intense stimulation. This is not just about physicality, it is about the psychological liberation that comes from knowing she can feel pleasure fully without inhibition. Every small adjustment of the body is a signal, a reflection of what feels good, what excites her, and what she trusts her partner to respond to. Understanding this requires more than just observation. It requires attentive presence. The moment her legs rise, it is an invitation to recognize her body's needs and respond accordingly. Most men, however, miss the profound significance of this simple act. They see it as a mere physical cue, a stereotype of desire, without comprehending the layers beneath it. But here's the truth. Every movement in intimacy is tied to neurological pathways of pleasure and emotional connection. When she positions herself in a way that maximizes sensitivity, she is engaging not only her physical senses, but also her emotional ones. This dual engagement creates a powerful feedback loop. Her pleasure intensifies, which in turn increases her sense of trust, engagement, and emotional vulnerability. Recognizing this loop is the key to transforming intimacy from a mechanical act into a deeply psychological experience. Philosophically, this is fascinating. Pleasure is often seen as superficial, transient, or even indulgent. Yet it is deeply tied to human psychology and personal fulfillment. When a woman raises her legs, she is not simply seeking physical satisfaction. She is expressing autonomy over her own pleasure, asserting a subtle command over the shared experience of intimacy. This is empowerment in its most natural form. Understanding this allows a man to shift from a mindset of conquest to one of partnership. It's no longer about achieving a goal, it's about co-creating an experience that honors both partners' bodies, minds, and emotions. Every adjustment, every nuance becomes a message, and those who learn to interpret these signals step into a higher level of connection. Her body's instinctive movements are also tied to evolutionary psychology. Humans are wired to seek pleasure because it reinforces behaviors that are essential for survival and bonding. By raising her legs, she is unconsciously facilitating deeper stimulation and connection, ensuring that intimacy is mutually rewarding. This act, subtle as it is, reflects an alignment of biology, psychology, and emotional intelligence. It is a reminder that intimacy is not just physical. It is an intricate dance of signals, responses, and understanding. A man who grasps this principle can elevate every encounter from a surface level interaction to a meaningful, almost sacred exchange of energy and attention. Yet, what makes this so transformative is not just the physiology, it is the awareness and attentiveness that accompany it. When a man notices this gesture and responds with care, he validates her body's signals, reinforcing her trust and confidence. He participates in a dialogue that goes beyond words, engaging with her desires, responding to her cues, and honoring her autonomy. This creates a cycle of emotional and physical reinforcement. Her pleasure deepens. She feels more connected and appreciated, and the intimacy becomes richer and more fulfilling. In this way, understanding the simple act of raising her legs is not just about technique. It's about emotional literacy, attentiveness, and the willingness to honor her experience as equal to your own. There's also a broader psychological truth here. Human beings, especially women, are conditioned to be cautious about expressing desire openly. Societal pressures, past experiences, or fear of judgment can create barriers that limit full expression. When she raises her legs, it signals that she is breaking through those barriers, letting go of inhibitions, and allowing herself to be fully present. This is not trivial. It is profound. It demonstrates courage, trust, and a willingness to embrace vulnerability. Recognizing this is an opportunity for a man to rise to the occasion, to meet her vulnerability with respect, presence, and engagement, thereby strengthening the emotional bond between them. Understanding this gesture also teaches us about the power of subtlety in intimacy. The most impactful expressions are often quiet, understated, and natural. By paying attention to these small but significant movements, a man can cultivate a deeper, more empathetic, and more intelligent approach to intimacy. It shifts the experience from being goal-oriented to experience-oriented, from being about mechanics to being about connection. Every moment becomes a chance to listen, to respond, and to co-create a shared emotional and physical landscape. So, the next time you notice her legs rising, don't see it as merely a position. See it as her body speaking a language of pleasure, trust, and engagement. See it as an opportunity to understand her desires, to respond with attentiveness, and to co-create a moment of profound connection. It is a window into her psychology, an invitation to participate in a deeply human dialogue of vulnerability and satisfaction. And here's the takeaway. Pleasure is more than sensation. It is communication, trust, and empowerment. By understanding how her body expresses this, you elevate intimacy to a level that is rare, meaningful, and transformative. Every subtle cue carries wisdom. Every gesture is a guide. The power lies not in controlling, but in observing, understanding, and responding with intelligence and care. Intimacy is a shared journey, and her body is speaking to you in ways words never could. Notice, respect, respond, and you will discover a depth of connection and pleasure that most men will never experience. Intimacy is not just a physical act. It is a complex language of the body, emotions, and desire. Every gesture, every movement speaks volumes, even without words. When a woman raises her legs in bed, she is doing more than seeking comfort or maximizing physical pleasure. She is sending a powerful nonverbal signal of desire, engagement, and connection. Most men fail to notice this because they are focused on mechanics rather than meaning. Yet, if you truly pay attention, you begin to understand that every subtle cue is a window into her mind and heart. This gesture communicates enthusiasm, trust, and emotional availability in ways that words often cannot. To miss it is to overlook the depth of her participation in the shared experience. Body language has always been a silent yet profound form of communication. Philosophers and psychologists alike have long recognized that our bodies often speak truths that our minds cannot articulate. When she raises her legs, it is her body declaring a message. I am fully present. I am engaged. I want this connection. It is an expression of desire, not just physical, but emotional. She is telling you, without saying it, that she is invested in the experience, that she trusts you to recognize her signals, and that she wants you to participate in this intimate dialogue consciously and attentively. This is where many men miss the opportunity to elevate intimacy. Recognizing and responding to these nonverbal cues is the mark of emotional intelligence and sensitivity. There is a fascinating psychological principle at play here. Humans communicate more through nonverbal cues than through words, especially in moments of intimacy. Our brains are wired to respond to subtle signals, often without our conscious awareness. The raising of her legs is not random. It is deliberate in its effect, even if she is unaware of the exact message she is sending. It aligns her body in a way that enhances pleasure, yes, but also signals readiness and engagement. This is her way of showing consent, excitement, and interest, all bundled into one simple, powerful movement. When you recognize it as such, you transform from being a passive participant into an active, attuned partner capable of responding in ways that deepen connection. There is also a philosophical dimension to this. Desire, trust, and engagement are not abstract concepts. They are lived experiences that manifest physically. Her movement is a subtle choreography of emotion, intention, and sensation. She is asserting agency over her pleasure and signaling it in a form that invites attention, respect, and reciprocal engagement. To observe and respond to this is to enter into a form of mutual intimacy that transcends physicality, where both partners are fully present, aware, and attuned. This awareness is not simply about technique. It is about understanding the language of connection and participating in it consciously. The power of nonverbal communication in intimacy is amplified when it is understood in context. By noticing and responding to her body language, a man validates her expression of desire. He demonstrates that he is not merely focused on his own experience, but is attuned to hers. This builds trust, heightens emotional intimacy, and fosters a sense of shared connection that goes far beyond the physical. When you recognize the significance of her gesture, every touch, every response becomes a dialogue. You are no longer acting mechanically. You are engaging in a dynamic exchange of desire, respect, and understanding. It is also important to recognize the courage inherent in her action. Raising her legs, exposing herself physically, and signaling engagement requires vulnerability. Many women are conditioned to feel hesitant about showing desire openly. Social norms, past experiences, or fear of judgment can create internal barriers. Yet, when she expresses herself through this movement, she is breaking through those barriers, allowing herself to be fully seen and fully experienced. The response she receives in return, attentive, respectful, and engaged, reinforces her confidence and strengthens the bond between you. This cycle of vulnerability and validation is at the heart of profound, lasting intimacy. Moreover, this gesture serves as a mirror for the man to reflect on his own presence. Are you fully attentive? Are you responsive to the signals your partner is sending? Recognizing her nonverbal cues requires awareness, emotional intelligence, and the willingness to participate in an unspoken dialogue. It is a call to move beyond ego, beyond mere gratification, and into the realm of genuine connection. This is where intimacy becomes transformative, when both parties are fully engaged, aware, and responsive to each other's cues. So, when you see her raise her legs, do not dismiss it as a trivial action. See it for what it truly is, a signal of desire, a marker of engagement, and a testament to trust. It is her way of communicating readiness, excitement, and emotional openness. When you respond consciously, you validate her expression, honor her trust, and deepen the intimacy between you. It is in these small, seemingly simple movements that the most profound psychological and emotional truths reveal themselves. The lesson here is clear. Intimacy is a conversation of signals, not just words. Every gesture carries meaning. And understanding these cues transforms the experience from physicality to connection, from desire to shared presence. When a woman raises her legs, she is inviting you into a space of engagement, asking you to see, to respond, and to honor her experience fully. The power lies not in control, but in attention, not in domination, but in recognition. Remember this, her gestures are not just about pleasure. They are about communication, trust, and connection. The depth of intimacy is revealed in the small signals we choose to see and honor. Pay attention, respond thoughtfully, and you will discover a level of connection and engagement that is rare, profound, and transformative.